Hello and welcome to more Vintage Cube Draft. What do we want to take from this pack? We got Blood Crypt, Volcanic Island, Fire Confluence, very strong card, Counterspell, Oust, Gaddock Teague. I really want to try this card out. I think Gaddock Teague is very good, but fits into a very small subset of decks, which is like green-white aggressive decks. But in those decks, this card's insane. Like, let's just go through and see what cards Gaddock Teague stops. Karn, Citadel, Confluence, Green Suns, Empty the Warrens. Like, that's a lot and just from one pack. But here, a big part of me is actually tempted to just take Counterspell. Partially because it's the only blue card in the pack. So like, it is passing signals. Like, we're passing a good red card, a good green card, and then two good white cards. I do consider that. The safer pick could be to just take Volcanic Island, but taking Volcanic Island while passing good blue and red cards is also like kind of a losing proposition sometimes. Ooh, I like this pack. A lot of great things here. There's Prismatic Vista, Memory Jar, Factor Fiction, Natural Order, Elspeth Conquers Death. This is me after I've seen my data and statistics, and I saw that Factor Fiction kind of underperformed, and I kind of understand why. It's not proactive, like 4 mana to draw cards, or, you know, get the ability to draw cards. In Vintage Cube might just be too slow, because a lot of the times, like, the matches I lose in Vintage Cube typically don't come down to me running out of cards in hand. They often come down to me, like, not being able to play everything that I have in my hand quick enough. So, it's possible. I think this card's still a great enabler, especially for Storm and things like that, but maybe I don't need it as much as something like Venser, because I think old Caleb would have taken Factor Fiction over Venser, but new Caleb is trying to prioritize pressure and proactive play, so I like just taking Venser and passing this Prismatic Vista in Memory Jar. Oh no! Not in the same pack! Oh, that's bad. Well, if I can get both, that'll be so good. This is my favorite combo. High Tide times Pro, it's so unbelievably strong. I keep telling people how good it is, and every time people meme, and then I'm like, it's like 1 mana add 12. That's pretty good. I'm going to take Time Spiral, and then just keep in mind High Tide is there and hope it comes around. This card has like a 0% chance of wheeling. This card has a decent chance of wheeling. If I was only to get one, I think just having High Tide is probably likely to be better, especially if I end up like blue control, but I'll take the Time Spiral and see. There's a Mana Leak. I like that. I also like Rishad Import and Thief of Sanity, but we're just going to keep cutting blue, hoping that's enough to keep High Tide open. There's a Caracas for a Venser. That goes poorly with High Tide, but I'm not really planning that I'm going to get High Tide. So I'm just going to draft a good deck, and then if I get it, then we can at that point change our deck. Because the only other card I would take here is Frost Titan, which is fine but not amazing. Caracas is really good with Venser and Vendilion Click, which are two of the cards I would like to get in like a heavy blue deck anyway. So there's that. There's Gush and Muldrifter. And then actually some good white cards. Stoneforge Council's Wormcoil. I think I'm gonna take Muldrifter. Gush actually has a decent chance of coming around. Because if we're the only one drafting heavy blue, like I haven't really passed any blue cards aside from High Tide. I think I'd rather just have Muldrifter in that regard. There's a Mind's Desire. Oh man, this is like very now I need to decide between drafting Discipline and drafting for fun. Because I think the Discipline pick, what even was that sentence? The Disciplined pick is Torrential Gearhulk, and then I can just draft like Counterspell, Mana Leak, Cryptic Command. But look, when I get the opportunity, I just have to wheel High Tide. That's all I need. I'm gonna take Ulamog here. Empty the Warrens came around, so that's worth mentioning. I'm gonna take Oust because I have Caracas, and that's some good interaction. There's Memory Jar. Okay, I don't need Tendrils. Tendrils came around. High Tide. Oh, they're making me wait in the pack too. Oh my gosh, I think it's this one. It might be the next one. Please, let me have this. I know the archetype Storm is open because I've got past a bunch of good Storm cards. So this is the situation you want to be in, where you're playing against people who are willing to let you wheel a Memory Jar. That's good. The second thing that's good is I cut blue pretty hard from this pack. I took a pretty good blue card from most of those picks. So hopefully nobody who was drafting High Tide, like nobody who was passing to me took High Tide, and nobody who I was passing to saw any blue cards aside from High Tide. They're really making me wait for this pack though. This is this is agony here. Probably the person who's passing to me, like, is deciding whether they want to pass high tide or not. We got it! Oh, thank goodness. I'm going to take it before it disappears. Okay. That was a lot of stress. That was too much stress for me. So this could be the one rare time where I draft blue-white storm. I don't think I've ever drafted that as an archetype, but ideally we would stick to mono blue. Because I'm running high tide, Caracas is a pretty big cost to put into the deck, even though it is good with Venser. Well, there's Rashad import, which is pretty nice. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Soulfire Grandmaster Smokestack. I'll take Grandmaster. If I get Time Walk, I could end up in a very, very weird blue-white storm deck. There's Gush. I mean, the archetype's open. This is our time to go for it. Spirebluff Canal, very bad, but that's fine. We get Mystic Confluence, Show and Tell, Coercive Portal, Fractured Identity. Oh man, I'm drinking a chia seed smoothie, and like one of the chia seeds, I normally blend them up, but one of them's like stuck on the back of my throat. It's very uncomfortable. Do not recommend. So I think I'm gonna take Confluence. This is the worst rampant growth there ever was, but you know, you can put a land into play with this. I'm gonna take Mystic Confluence, but I'm gonna pause it and get a drink so I can get rid of this chia seed out of my throat. I would not fault anyone for taking Fractured Identity here either, though. Alright, from this pack we get Glenalenja, Emery, Manitive, Primeval Titan, bunch of nonsense. I'll take Glen. Emery's likely to come around and we don't have anything that combos with her. Ooh, Daze Time Warp. So Time Warp Soulfire Grandmaster could give us like a win condition. I kind of like that. Daze, I did pass Gush, or I did get like Gush came around, so there is a chance that Daze comes around, but I think probably just going to take Daze here. Time Warp is fine, but 5 mana is a lot, and I already have so many good 5-drops. But being able to Mind's Desire into Time Warp Ulamog is a potential way to win. I just don't think it's necessary. I'd rather be mostly a mono blue control deck, and then just out of nowhere be like, oh, by the way, I have Storm. Wow, my throat is... This chia seed is like expanding and making it very hard to talk. Okay. Nope, I still can't talk. Alright, you're dealing with Caleb with no voice. I'm gonna take Spell Pierce over Impulse and Golos. I do like Impulse, but I think I just want to be very... Ooh. How risky do we get? I mean, I think I can be confident Brain Freeze comes around. I got High Tide to wheel. Tendrils came around. Empty This Warrens came around. I don't think anyone's going to be taking Brain Freeze. And if they do, we can win off other things. Consecrated Sphinx is like kind of necessary and also just very good with Time Spiral. I actually like Ugin and Thirst for Knowledge here. Ugin goes with our mono blue game plan. Thirst really is only good with Memory Jar. I'm going to take... I guess that's fine. I'm probably not playing white at this point also. I think we're just going straight up mono blue. Ugin gives us a general answer to random things they might have. I think I'm just going to take Ugin. Sometimes maybe I just want a win condition. Here, I'll just take a Forge Master. Not going to play it though. Vendilion Click. Oh, now I might play Caracas. It's very good. I don't need Past in Flames. Show and Tell. If this was a pod draft, I would take Lodestone Golem, but I could side in Show and Tell against like mono red. See what happens there. Emery could be good. I think it's next pack, like Cabal Ritual and Goblin Electromancer came around. I think the only reason someone would take Brain Freeze is if they're just hate drafting, which is an option. They're making me wait for the Brain Freeze too. This is unfortunate. They passed High Tide. Oh. Is this the pack? I don't know if this was the pack. Why? Come on. Someone, I mean, the only reason to take Brain Freeze there is if you're hate drafting. That's very unfortunate. We can still win, but that's rough. Because now we're like, man, I'm losing my voice and I'm losing my Brain Freeze. This is not great. Mystical Tutor, I like because it can grab Time Spiral, which is kind of the best card in our deck. I like Chromox, even though it doesn't have art. Solemn is actually decent in this deck because it's about how many islands we can put into play. And then Spellseeker is pretty good. We'll just take Tutor. Turnabout, the perfect card. We might just have to wheel Emrakul here, but this is looking very nice. Palancron. Ooh. This can copy High Tide, can't it? That can let us go very deep. But I need to take a Tundra. Wait, Tundra doesn't help with Caracas, does it? No. Does not. I think I'm gonna take Palancron. That's a very easy way to win the game. Narset Time Twister is very good. I'm going to be doing that a lot. I could also take Mer Battlesphere because, like, now, unfortunately, I do need a way to win the game since someone took my Brain Freeze. Although, I can just, like, play Control and then turbo out in Ugin or Ulamog. I'm going to take Narset. I'll be able to find a win con. Like, just Mono Blue mid-range is also a very good deck. And then I just have a combo kill that is also very good. Wow, yeah, someone just hate drafted Brain Freeze for whatever reason, because Storm is so wide open. I don't fault them. I've done that before, but it's upsetting. Yeah, we take Frantic Search here. It's just absurd with everything we have going on. Ancestral Vision, I don't know if I actually like. You can hit it off of Mind's Desire, and I can suspend it early. I guess I do have quite a bit of counter magic, so it's probably going to be good enough. Well, maybe this is the Thassa's Oracle deck. Maybe that's better than Brain Freeze. Actually, I don't hate that. That's quite nice. Deceiver Exarch, I could potentially see playing against aggressive decks. I don't like Sensei's Top, so I'll take this. It's another blue creature with flash. You know what? This might be the win con. That's kind of awesome, actually. Mono blue Thassa's Oracle seems really fun. So I don't think I'm going to play Hangerback Walker. But we'll see. Chromox came around. I am down for that. That's a very good card here. So this deck hard loses to Gaddock Teague. No, because I have Venser, I guess. But Gaddock Teague is a big problem. Banishing Light, sure. This deck is really nice. Straight up mono blue. Not playing Emery, even though I do have Memory Jar. I don't think I want to main deck Ugin. It's kind of bad in the current build. I think I like Ulamog, because it gives us like a failsafe. I don't know if I need Lotus Bloom, because I don't need colored mana, and this deck really just wants to hit lands for High Tide. And it's like a pretty awkward top deck, so I think I'm not going to play Lotus Bloom. This is definitely a 17 land deck. I think for now we can sideboard Hangerback. The problem is, I guess I can reshuffle my deck with Ulamog for Thassa's Oracle. So get rid of this. 16 land. This is going to be interesting. I don't know how this is going to go. There's our opposition. I don't think I can play Fire. I'm not playing opposition. I'll take Fire Ice, I guess. Some decks you want to just be able to like spend 2 mana to tap a thing. I'll take Gideon. I could see myself sideboarding into blue-white. Well, we also got Pestermite. I don't think this is a Lion's Eye Diamond deck. I just have Memory Jar and other things, so just playing like blue flash is not the worst game plan. Although I'm probably not going to main deck Pestermite. Part of me thinks I'm supposed to play Caracas in here. I have Vendilion Click and Venser. Probably end up playing that. It's just such a risk, but it's only 1 land. I think I can play Caracas, and that'll basically push me up to 17. So I'll be playing 16 islands and Caracas. I like that. Daze Mentally, Counterspell, Remand. I need to cut 1 card. It could be Palancron, although that is just an instant win with Mind's Desire. It's also a nice hit off of Mind's Desire to like go big. So I think I like Palancron. This is hard. I don't actually have a good cut. Because I need this to make sure I don't lose. Like, this deck will have trouble winning as it currently stands. I could probably just go Ugin Pestermite and play a more safe deck with like Rishad Import. But I like the Storm aspect. It's quite appealing. I guess this deck does not benefit very much from Gush, because like everything depends on me having lands in play between Time Spiral, Turnabout, and Palancron. So Gush is kind of a non-bow. So I guess as odd as it is, we're going to cut Gush. Really wish I had Brain Freeze, but I think hopefully this draft will go to show you don't necessarily need Brain Freeze to win. I could cut Chromox. The more I'm thinking about it, Chromox is actually kind of weird here. We could just play Gush. Because I'm just playing islands, right? I don't need anything else. Yeah, we'll just run 17 land like that. You guys run 1. Alright, I'll keep this hand. Seems alright to me. So we can Mystical Tutor for whatever we want. Probably not going to be tutoring for a while. Oh no. Oh no. This is a Thalia and I just die. Okay. Okay, that's actually quite nice. I don't know why they did that. They must have like... the only card I could think of that would cause them to play both of those is Disenchant. I'll let the Signet resolve because I don't want to put myself behind a land drop. Okay, I don't know what's happening anymore. This doesn't appear to be aggro. I'm not going to tutor still. There's Time Spiral. So now I can tutor for High Tide, which I might do. Solemn. It's going to hardcast Daze. Basically, Solemn coming into play makes... Oh no! The post-Solemn Daze. Unless they intentionally played into Daze, which would be a huge brain play. Pass turn. So I can Mystical Tutor for High Tide, but then I'm not drawing a land. So I'm not going to do that. If I don't draw a land, I'm going to Gush. Okay, I draw a land, that's perfect. Now I can Tutor for High Tide, and then High Tide Time Spiral gives me like crazy amounts of mana, but I'm not in any rush. They haven't done anything. They appear to be mono white control. And like I don't really care about Glenelyn or Elish Norn. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm not gonna Tutor for High Tide because I just want to keep drawing lands. Perfect. Now I can hardcast Gush end of turn. I don't know what is happening over there, but I mean I'll take it. This is just gonna be 5 mana Gush. Glenelyn Spell Pierce. Muldrifter. I'm going to evoke a Muldrifter. Hopefully draw a land here. Nice. Play land, discard Ulamog. Because that's something I want to hit off of Mind's Desire. Now I shuffle those back in. I don't understand what their deck could have. And I want to like get a Vendilion Click or something. Oh, they have blue mana. That's not ideal actually. 2, 3, 4. So I'd like to have Glenelendra because Spell Pierce is dead. I guess I just go for it right now. That just seems quite reasonable to me. Let's Tutor for High Tide. Then we play High Tide. Now they have double blue. A lot of mana. So I can go Glenelendra to be pretty safe. And then turn about my lands. And untap. And then Time Spiral. I untap with a ton of lands. I can hit Mind's Desire. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I can Frantic Search. Oh, I even have a land drop this turn? I didn't realize that. Let's Frantic Search. That's not good. Discard 2 of these, untap these. I guess I will Mystic Confluence and draw 3. Helenkron, Turnabout, Muldrifter. So I have infinite mana. That might not translate. I mean, we cast Palancron here for sure. I guess I want to resolve Muldrifter first. Let's cast Muldrifter. Gosh, okay, Mind's Desire, we win. So now I can just go Island, Palancron. Yeah, this is sweet. Untap all these. Return Palancron. Right, that's 7, that's 14 mana, and this costs 7 plus 4, so I generate 3 mana every time I cast Palancron. Plus a Storm Count, which will be necessary here. Do this. So I'm just gonna Palancron a bunch and then go for the Mind's Desire. I'll come back in a second. Alright, the Storm Count is now going to be 17. I turn about at their lands just to, you know, make sure there's no funny business. A Palancron. That will untap my lands, then I Mind's Desire in my deck. I'm going to cast Vendilion Click before I go off. Because I want to see if anything funny is going on. So that's 17, this will be 18. So they get to see my entire deck. Oh, I'm actually going to cast Vendilion Click right now. I want to see what's in their hand. So they have Ancestral Vision, Anguished Unmaking, Baneslayer Angel, Elspeth Conquers Death, Kaya Orzhov Usurper. So that can hit cards from my graveyard. That's important to know about. Phantasmal Image. This seems like an excellent matchup. I'm going to say no, and we just win here. We're just going to cast Thassa's Oracle and get there. After, of course, I cast Ulamog. Kill their land. Get them. And this is why, like, storm wind conditions are nice, but this just wins here. Okay, game 1 down against dirtily blue-white things. So, what do I want in this matchup? I like all my counter magic. This seems like a good Ancestral Vision matchup. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think my deck's just faster than theirs and their interaction is bad, so we just run it back. Alright, game 2, our hand is a bit less than optimal. I'm also actually kind of worried of casting Glenelendra because they did show Phantasmal Image. So that's something I need to worry about. Because if they Phantasmal Image my Glen, I kind of just die. This Ulamog is really bad. I only have 2 land, but I do have Narset Mana Leak. I'll keep, I don't know. Their deck looked not aggressive, so I don't want to mulligan too hard, but I do have at least 1 dead card. They do have Ancestral Vision. I don't like that. Control Memory Jar. It's fine. It's good, but not the best card ever. I think my best possible draw is... Ooh, just a land. They know how to draft the cube. This is actually quite bad, unless I draw a land here. Okay. Now it's not the end of the world. They have 1 turn to resolve something. I really just want to draw running lands. Maybe I should just be running a higher land count, and maybe Ulamog's not necessary. Thank goodness they didn't cast. I was gonna say if they cast Little Teferi there, that would also be really bad. Just have that down, it's fine. Land. Honestly, Mystical Tutor's not the worst. I can grab Frantic Search, I guess. So I cannot mana leak their Ancestral Vision because they have enough mana. They have a Mox. Well, we get to counter Gideon unless they have Spell Pierce. Interesting. I'm proud of them for playing around Daze though. And now things get bad because we get to Narset and that just shuts down their Ancestral Vision. Part of me wants to Frantic Search here to try and hit a land. And I think that just makes sense to me. Okay, I draw Turnabout. So we discard Ulamog. I have Turnabout Mind's Desire. I can tutor for High Tide and then go like High Tide Turnabout Memory Jar. But then the Mind's Desire is pretty bad. I think I might just discard Turnabout. No, I'll get rid of Mind's Desire. That makes the most sense to me. Let's have these. I hope... Yeah, they all shuffle back in. That's very nice. Now I get to go land, play around Days of their own, and play Narset, which shuts down Ancestral Vision. Grab the Mind's Desire, shuffled in, and they don't get to draw cards. That's fun. That's fun and engaging, interactive Magic. They targeted me. Okay. And then they play Gideon. I cannot counter Gideon, but I did draw High Tide. I do that. Then they can see it. Respectable way to go out. I mean, they were super dead. Because I was just going to... Well, they let me draw 3 cards, which is funny. I think it was just a really bad matchup for them, honestly. Like, if your deck's full of clunky Planeswalkers and no interaction, you face Storm, you just lose. See you guys round 2. Alright, we're playing against Bioni. We won the die roll, which means this hand is absurd. Oh my gosh. This deck is like... If I could just draft this deck every time, except maybe with Remand Brain Freeze, that would be so nice. In fact, just adding Remand to this deck would add so much, because we don't really care about countering their spells. We just care about delaying things. And so Remand would be pretty nice in that regard. And they mulligan to 5? Oh boy. That's going to be rough. Rough for them. They're playing red, but now... So if I put Thassa's Oracle into play, then I can't actually win on the spot with Storm. I'm probably going to end up casting Daze here. They mulled a 5. They probably have a 2-drop. But I was thinking if they are playing red, this is like a decent blocker. Maybe? I don't know. Rakdos Signet. I think I just dazed that. And then I'm going to play Narset. Ooh, this is nice. So I'm going to play Narset. And then I'm going to Vendilion click them with Narset in play. Mystical Tutor's fine. This is kind of max greed because they can Lightning Bolt the Narset, but click with Narset is disgusting. It's just a straight up Thoughtseize with a creature tied to it. They play Wurn Power Stone. That's quite a bit of mana. Let's see what we hit off Narset. That might change things. Gosh is fine. Land. They have a lot of mana. If I really need to, I can Mystical Tutor for Counterspell and hit him with that. But I think I'm better off just draw step clicking them. Because they literally, it's so much value not letting them draw off of the Vendilion click trigger. This is probably less optimal than tutoring for a counterspell and then getting them with that, but it's so beautiful, you know? And it gives me complete information for the rest of the game. So if they don't have like Karn plus, I don't know, something else, Gilded Lotus, Coercive Portal, Coalition Relic. So... none of these do anything. Like, actual nothing. Coercive Portal doesn't work in the face of Narset. So I guess I just take Gilded Lotus because it represents the most mana. Right? This is just draw a card, and she says, can't draw more than 1 card. I'll just take Gilded Lotus. So now we know their hand, and it's bad. Really bad. And then we just kill them with Vendilion Click. They play Relic, then they play Coercive Portal, and their hand is empty. Sweet. So I think given all of this, I'm just going to tutor for Mystic Confluence. That seems pretty reasonable. Although, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They do play something... they're not going to play something scary. Let's just get a counterspell. Play land, attack. End of turn I can Gush, just hardcast. Let's see if they voted Carnage. No, they vote Homage. They draw a card there, but then they do not draw a card for turn. So it effectively does nothing. We get to cast Hard Gush. Frantic Search is quite nice. Land. We draw Mana Leak. Don't hate it. Let's attack for 3. Go to 14. I can evoke Bowl Drifter, but that doesn't really do anything. We'll just hold up Mystic Confluence. I think we're doing just fine here. I want to save Frantic Search because I could potentially draw Homage. I could potentially draw High Tide, and then High Tide into Frantic Search with this many lands is almost certainly enough to win. The opponent does nothing. I can Confluence as a draw 3 here. That seems too greedy though. Drawing land is great. We do that. We attack. I guess I also have Mana Leak. So the only thing that really gets me is if the opponent plays a cheap spell. Sort of like that one. I'll just let them get it. If they tutor for Ancestral that doesn't do anything. Tinker. Okay. That's fair. How much mana does Tinker cost? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So I can still counter Tinker. Vote Homage. So we'll let them go for Tinker. The last card in hand is just Tinker. Given that I'm just going to Mystic Confluence as a draw 3. Oh, I can even bounce my Vendilion Click and then just yoink their Tinker. I'm just going to draw 3 cards here. There we go. Land. So, what are we doing here? Definitely playing a land. Big part of me wants to Time Spiral because it just gets rid of their Tinker. I'll start with Frantic Search. I shouldn't have played a land, huh? That Caracas looks pretty nice. For these, untap these. I think I'm just going to Time Spiral. It gives them a random card instead of Tinker, and that seems like a fair trade for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can get down a Palinchron, untap my lands, and then resolve Glen. And Glen plus Glen activation and Mana Leak seems good enough to me. So they vote Homage. They now have 2 cards in hand. I would be very surprised if there's a creature that they can draw to get them out of this. Okay. Deck is crushing. Who even needs Brain Freeze? Am I right? So they're running Tinker. A little bit scary. Part of me wants to bring in Fire Ice because they've shown Gilded Lotus, and like just icing a Gilded Lotus is actually really good. But I think we're just good as it is. I could get rid of Ulamog. I probably don't need Ulamog. Fine, I'll get rid of Ulamog. No, I'll keep it. Decking is like slightly a concern. This hand doesn't have any early interaction. My opponent also mulliganed to 5 last game. I'm still gonna keep it though, because it has like, if their hand is not quick, we do have Narset plus Glen, which both seem very good against their deck. And I didn't really see much from them aside from Mana Rocks. So if they have another hand where they like mulligan aggressively for Tinker, which they mulled to 6 and they're still deciding, so they might just be going down for Tinker. If they're doing that, maybe I should mulligan for Spell Pierce. They start with 6 in hand, okay. And Mox. Ooh, uh-oh. So you can cast that. They can cast a Citadel that just doesn't seem likely, so I'll just leave them with Emery. I could Caracas the Emery, but that gives them like more outs to do crazy things. Deck Faden. Oh no. Oh no. Assault Monolith Mountain. Okay. Well, the opponent has 2 cards in hand. Narset helps shut down Dak Faden. And I guess I'll just do this now. That way they can't cast Basalt Monolith or whatever. But they are just going to find Tinker. So they have Tinker Bolas' Citadel, that's good to know about. They have Coercive Portal. They only have 1 blue, and they cast Karn. Phyrexian Revoker versus Mystical Tutor. I guess I'll just give them the Revoker. I don't want them tutoring for Tinker, although that would limit, like... I don't know if they have enough blue mana for that. I'll give them... Revoker really deals with... I'll just give them Revoker. It does deal with Narset, but I think that's okay. Let's play Narset. Downtick her. Grab a Confluence. Pass the turn. So now they can grab Mystical Tutor if they want to. They can't really activate Dak Faden, that's pretty bad. But, ooh, their deck is nice. Shelldock Isle? They can go like Karn, Downtick, make a Construct, and then play Phyrexian Revoker. And that is quite a bit of pressure onto me, right? That's a 3-3 and then a 2-2, and then they make another 3-3. I guess the best case scenario for me... Oh, they're just activating Karn, okay. I'll give you an Inkwell, I guess. I don't think they can cast Inkwell Leviathan anytime soon. Play Emery. It's just gonna get bounced, but it's just more pressure. They got rid of Tinker Inferno Titan. That's all good. The problem with what's going on is I cannot Caracas and play Glenn in the same turn. Can they revoke her? Oh, Walking Ballista for 1. Interesting. I was gonna say, can they revoke her by Narset? Here's High Tide. So I think Narset is just going to die, so I'm just gonna downtick her. They can kill it with Walking Ballista if they need to. But that's fine. We're really gonna go win off the High Tide game plan here. Mystical Tutor is pretty good. We play our land. A big part of me wants to cast Thassa's Oracle here. I guess I can Venser Thassa's Oracle to my hand when I'm going off, so this actually is just fine. We could do this. They kill that in response, that's fine. We play this. Put Malik on top, I guess, and then we bounce Emery. And we pass turn. So now they can activate Dak Faden. If they have Time Walk, they can really get us. And their deck is so small. They have 14 cards left in deck, so whatever's under Shelldock is going to be really bad. Okay, they Karn for a Construct. That's a good sign. They draw 2 and discard 2. Walking Ballista, Metalworker. Wormcoil. I think we might be set up. They're tapped out. Do I want to do this? I have 4 islands in play. Of course I want to do this. End of turn, Mystical Tutor. Time Spiral. Land. High Tide. Yeah, here's where Caracas is really hurting, but that's okay. We can Time Spiral. Tap all of these. That's 10, isn't it? Yeah, that's 10 mana. Oh, that's bad. I gave them a full hand. What can we do here? I can Venser. I don't care so much about Wormcoil. Karn can grab an Inkwell Leviathan. We're gonna Venser Caracas Venser for sure. I think it is going to be Wormcoil Engine. And then possibly Dak Faden. Could also be the Construct, and then I start attacking them. What about Dak Faden? And then suspend that. Not the best Time Spiral of all times. I think casting a Nullmog there would have been pretty nice, but I'll accept it. They hopefully have to discard the hand size. I should have waited one more turn. I think that was too aggressive on the High Tide. What are they grabbing? Mystical Tutor? Okay. Or Tinker. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're gonna daze a Tinker. Oh, yes. Thank you. Daze. Best card in the cube. This is unbelievable. They lose their mocks too. Daze. Oop. Poor opponent. I mean, like, not really, but that is really unfortunate for them. Special Vision ticking down. We're drawing only lands, but honestly, I don't even care. At this point, I'm more scared of Karn than anything else. Let's attack Karn. And then I have Venser Caracas or Spell Pierce. Now we pass turn. I have an Ulamog in hand, which is not the best. Okay, I get to choose. I will give them 1, 2, 3, an island. Because they can't even resolve an Inkwell Leviathan. Although I guess they can just draw, like, discard with Dak. I think I might just be able to win by, like, Memory Jar decking them too. Because their deck is quite low. Okay, Goblin Welder is moderately problematic. Coalition Relic is fine. They're drawing 2, that's also fine. They discard Inkwell Leviathan, Bolas's Citadel. Yikes. Well, a kill spell on Venser is very problematic. And they play Emery. Okay. Just hitting lands. Yeah, we just gotta find a Memory Jar. Let's Caracas Venser. If they kill him here, that's super bad. We have Spell Pierce. Then we get to Venser. Venser will bounce Goblin Welder. And then I can Caracas Emery. And this is still ticking down. I actually might just Ancestral Vision targeting them. We'll see what happens. I don't have any good attacks, but we are going to just Caracas the Emery. Play land. Have Gush available, but Gush into Memory Jar doesn't do it. So we're just gonna pass. Oh man, do I get to Spell Pierce this? I don't really care about Wurn Power Stone. I'll let that resolve. I'm not going to Spell Pierce a Wyrn Power Stone. Unless they have Upheaval. But the fact that I don't think they charged Coalition Relic, I guess they needed to use that for Shelldock. So they really can't recast Emery so well, because they go down to 6 cards in library. Yeah, they're just card making golems. They know they're gonna die. That's wonderful. I'll take the hit. I don't mind. They replay Goblin Welder. Do they replay Emery? Because that's Phyrexian Revoker. Sure. Should have played that before they attacked. What if they name Memory Jar? That would be next level. I think the only card they saw is Narset. Okay, they do name Narset. I support that. Tezzeret the Seeker. So that actually sets up for an ultimate faster than I'm okay with. So I think I'm gonna gush in response to that. Alright. I guess they have that. I might actually lose now. That changed a lot of things. Because now Memory Jar doesn't even kill them. Under Torch Defiance, playing around Spell Pierce. They can kill my Venser now. And I think now I actually do just lose. That's a lot of cards they just deployed. Yeah. If this was one turn later, I think Memory Jar might do it. But I just have too many lands in hand. Wow. They ultimate Tezzeret and then they have so many lethal threats. I guess I'll see if they do it in the face of Turnabout, potentially. I also do want to see a little bit more of their deck if possible. Discard an island. So they get access to Goblin Welder. This does not look like the best Bolas' Citadel deck that I've ever seen. They uptick Chandra, they hit Coercive Portal. Ultimate Tezzeret. Wait, why? Oh, I guess the constructs are 10/10s now. That makes sense. I'll just concede. That'll do it. Game 3, that was a very engaging game too. I think I'm pretty favored against them. I just gotta shut them off Tinker, deal with their like goblins or whatever, and then win. I don't think Ugin's good, so we'll just do this. My opponent boarded up to 41 cards. Kind of makes sense. They did. What are these opening hands? I'm definitely mulliganing this. I'm definitely keeping this. What do I even get rid of? This hand's insane. Ay. I guess I get rid of Turnabout. As crazy as it is, this hand's so good. Well, I need like a Narset. If I can draw like Narset, they mull to 6, that's fine. Yeah, if I could draw like Narset or like a Vendilion Click, that could be good. Honestly, a land there's not the worst. With Frantic Search, drawing lands isn't like horrible. We're just gonna basically wait. Don't coil for 1, that's fine. Don't quite know what's going on there, but I'm just gonna keep making land drops. We need to hit Time Spiral somewhere. They tutor. Okay, so they're just gonna go for Tinker. I'm gonna let them Tinker. If they have Tinker plus Spell Pierce, I don't think they can. Respectable going for it. Let's counter Tinker. What is with this deck and drawing mono lands? Like, it's still fine. Because when we need to go off, we're going to have Frantic Search. I didn't really see any counter magic from them. If this is Big Tez, though, that's kind of an issue. Lodestone Golem. Alright. Honestly, not the best against this particular branch of Storm, because High Tide just gives you, like, stupid, crazy amounts of mana. But, it's still one of the best cards they could have with 2 cards left in hand. Probably, honestly, one of the cards they probably would have tinkered for. But it doesn't just shut me down, because High Tide just generates crazy amounts of mana. Salt Monolith. Okay. Definitely playing a land. I'm deciding if I want to play Thassa's Oracle. They have 1 card in hand. So this looks at the top 2, and then I can like put the best one on top. I guess if I find Time Spiral, it's going to be pretty good. This also buys me a whole extra turn. Okay. Oh, can you say no? Oh, I could have put none! I guess it's not that bad because I do want to hit land drops, so maybe that was actually fine. I didn't know you could say no. That's actually a decent filtering. So we let this die. Trade off while we can. Hopefully they don't do anything too scary. Worm Coil Engine, so I take 11. They have no cards in hand. Alright, this is... So I'm going to go, next turn I'm going to go High Tide Frantic Search. And then... I'm deciding if I want to play land here. I don't think mana is going to be my limiting factor because I have High Tide to go off with. So I'm deciding if I want to keep the land in hand so I have options to discard, because High Tide Frantic Search, I'm going to have 1 card in hand, so if I draw 2 good cards, I can't keep both of them. So I'm actually going to keep a land in hand. I take 11 and I go to 4. I don't know of a card in their deck that can kill me from this position. So the Thassa's Oracle play was bad because I'm now one less card deep in my deck. But really it depends on if I can draw like a Time Spiral. Yikes. Okay, well, High Tide costs 2. Frantic Search costs 4. They have a counterspell? Okay. What is this mana? Holy cow. What? I really want to know what the top card is, because I would be one deeper if I had known how Thassa's Oracle works. I will discard these two. Untap these. Play Mind's Desire for 3, I guess. Or for 4. I guess I want to play land. They have Mana Leak or something. Okay. This doesn't work because I shuffle, so I need to hit a card that draws. Mystic Confluence will work. Okay, so now I can Mystical Tutor. I don't have enough mana. Yeah, actually the Lodestone Golem is hurting me. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can tutor for immediately. So let's Confluence first, because that one needs to resolve. Return 2 creatures, draw a card. Consecrated Sphinx is quite nice. Play this for 2. Oh, now it's free. Beautiful. So now I could just get Time Spiral. And Mana Leak is useless. Alright. Unfortunately, the Sphinx doesn't actually help me with Time Spiral because I don't have enough mana. So we just have to Time Spiral into some really good hits. And I have to do that in the face of a Lodestone Golem too. Yep. And they have exactly enough mana. Oh man. Alright, land. Time Spiral. We need to hit a High Tide. I think I'm dead. These have been some really bad hits off of Time Spiral. You can cast Consecrated Sphinx and then die if they attack. Yeah, this deck is it's good, but we just drew really badly this game. Too many lands. We'll see what they have here. Riftwing Cloudscape. Unfortunate, but we have another game to clinch the 2-1. I will see you guys there. Alright, we're here for round 3 against Almighty Nat. I'll keep this hand. It's pretty good. I can't get over last round. Uh-oh. I can't even daze whatever this is. Oh no. Okay, well at least they're playing green. Okay, that I don't mind. What the heck? That was a very complicated series of things that I just witnessed. Okay. I mean, sure. I'm going to Mystical Tutor for Counterspell here, unless they do anything. I mean, they're going to have 5 mana on turn 2. They're not going to have 5 mana on turn 2. I don't know what's happening. Fallen Shinobi! No. Okay. I'm so scared of everything. I don't know. What do they have in hand? Do I tutor for a counterspell? Do I just play Thassa's Oracle? I think I just play Thassa's Oracle. That locks them out of Fallen Shinobi. I can still hold up Daze. Now they fetch. I don't know. Their deck is so weird. I want both of these. I think Vendilion Click is actually better. I have Narset, but they have Creeping Tar Pit. I don't know if they can even activate it, but they have it, I guess. I'm just gonna take Vendilion Click. I don't know what's going on, and I would like to know what's going on. I wish I could have drawn both of those in order, though. The thing is, they could not cast a 4-drop last turn. Dark, what is happening? I can respect the hustle, but what is happening? Play a land. Attack. Then I guess I draw step Vendilion Click them, depending on what Dark Confidant reveals. Mox, what is this deck? That's so many Moxes! Alright, I have to know what's going on. This is too much for me. Ooh, Casualties of War. What is going on here? Ay, ay, ay. What is that? I like it. Can they cast Casualties? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can. I'm a bit worried about them playing Rakdos Return wisely. So I guess I just take the return. This is a deck more ambitious than even I. Play the Mox. Casualties of War will get dazed. It's not even that good, but yeah, I'll just daze that card. So now that's gone, Mox Ruby's gone, Rakdos Return is gone, so it's Figure of Destiny and 1 unknown. The unknown is known, it's Badlands, which lets them cast figures, so their hand is empty. Really weird stuff going on here. At this point, I guess I want to just evoke a Muldrifter. Make sure I'm set up for next turn. Whatever that entails, I honestly have no baseline for this. So they can level it up once and twice, so Finger of Destiny can actually become a 4/4. At that point, I think it's worth keeping Thassa's Oracle back to block Dark Confidant. They hit Trigon Predator. Okay. They have Uro. That's actually kind of problematic, because it gains them life. So my tempo game is gone. I mean, I could lose to this deck. They do have, what, 3 Moxes? So who knows what crazy, like, they just have crazy draws that they're capable of. Also, they're tapping more mana, and I don't know what this could be for. Oh, that, right. Okay. I've been dealing Click Caracas and Venser Caracas. Both of these are good. I don't know what's happening here. I can draw step click them and just hold up Venser. I don't really want to Caracas my click. I think I want to cast Venser this turn. And I think I'm going to Venser. You know what? I'm just going to pass with all my mana up. I'm not going to attack with Vendilion Click. I think being able to Venser whatever crazy plays they have, like, I literally have no idea what could be in their deck. Which is part of the benefit of playing a deck like this. It's off the wall. Assassin's Trophy I don't mind. Giving me lands is not the worst. Although, trophying my Caracas will be like 3% annoying. They play Marsh Flats. They have Assassin's Trophy 1 unknown. And Marsh Flats is relevant because it lets them Uro very soon. They're activating Creeping Tar Pit. Okay. A lot of things happening. They can also level up Figure. They're attacking with Trigon Predator. Okay, this actually seems fine. So I Venser the Creeping Tar Pit. Take 6. And they already played a land this turn. Or I block here on the Figure. No, I'll just take 6. They don't level it up. What? Hanger back? Okay. This is so weird. What is going on? Alright, so now we play Caracas. I attack them for 3 in the air. I don't feel the need to draw step Vendilion Click them. I think Venser Caracas is quite a bit better. They have Assassin's Trophy though. That's fine. They go to 7, they hit Anguished Unmaking. That's getting very close to them dying. But now they have Trophy plus Anguished Unmaking. But if they Anguished Unmaking, they go to 4, and that's pretty bad. I can always Mystical Tutor from Mystic Confluence, and then just bounce other things, kill them with Vendilion Click. They do nothing. Okay. Part of me wants to do nothing. Part of me wants to Caracas my Venser. Just see what happens there. Well, they can cast both. Alright, I'm just gonna Mystical Tutor then. Or Mystic Confluence. Oh, they go for my Caracas. I can Frantic Search. That seems fine. Now they're just giving me an extra land. That's pretty good. And now I can Mystic Confluence end of turn, actually. That is not so bad. So now we float a mana off of the Caracas. Yeah, that actually works out pretty nicely. I just let that happen. Use the ability, yes. Grab an island. And then we're going to cast this. Bouncing Trigon Predator and drawing a card. Well, let me do this again. Cast. Draw 2, return Trigon, yes. Oh, but they're just going to Anguish Unmaking my Vendilion Click. Maybe I just draw 3 then. Why can't I draw 3 cards? Why can't I draw 3 cards? Am I missing something? Why can I not do this 3 times? I have 3 mana. I cast this. Draw 3. I don't... Why is it only 2? What is happening? Why can I... Am I missing something? Cast. Down, up. Okay, I'm gonna file a bug. I don't know what's happening here, but I guess I can only do this option. They can Anguished Unmaking their own Trigon Predator to counter this, but then they lose. Oh, they have a Lightning Helix too? That's bad. Yeah, I should have one more card. I don't know why I couldn't choose draw 3 here, but for whatever reason, the game decided. Turnabout Gush. Alright, let's play Glen. It counters their Anguished Unmaking. Really wish I had an extra card in hand, but that's fine, I guess. What do you got off Dark Confidant here? I'm excited. God, the Shrine, sure. I really did not expect them to Assassin's Trophy the Caracas. That actually kind of put a problem in my plans. Now they can get back Uro. Yeah. What a deck. Honestly, this is impressive. They attack like that. Feels like a fine trade to me. Venser and Thassa's Oracle there, and then I take 4. Seems fine. Especially since having one of these dead means that I can draw Thassa's Oracle and go off when I need to. Fauna Shaman? What is this? This is next level. They're paying life to hold up Anguished Unmaking, I guess. This is a next level deck of Magic the Gathering. Take the hit. Who even knows what they could Fauna Shaman for here? Like, it's big. Can they level this up again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can actually turn Figure of Destiny into an 8/8 here. I'm honestly just enjoying this. Their deck is so sweet. So this is an 8/8. Does not have trample. So I'm feeling a double chump here. And then we're going to gush and try and win from there. I don't want to turn about their creatures just yet. They can put a land into play if they want. Okay, so we block here and here. And I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I block here and here, then I take 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go to 1 with that play, and I keep a fully healthy Glenalendra. I don't think it's worth going to 1. They could have a weird burn spell. Who even knows? We'll just do this. Swords to Plowshares my Glen. Has Gush. That goes through. My hand is so bad. They draw Rakdos Return. Yeah. Nobody ever plays around days. Oh, I guess, yeah, doing it for lethal just makes sense. So that's not opponent's fault. I guess I gotta draw Time Spiral now. I draw a land. So we get to turn about their creatures and then hope to top deck a Time Spiral. Seems fun. Niv Mizzet Reborn. Oh, that's beautiful. That explains a lot of their deck. Begin combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turnabout. You. Creature. Tap. I don't even know if it's worth to counter Niv Mizzet. Like, I'm just dead to their board state. Master of the Fells. That's fine. Then they play Niv Mizzet. I think I let this resolve, probably because I'm going to die. I don't think countering matters, but it also lets me see basically their entire deck, so I know what I'm working with. They have Omnath, Knight of Autumn, Ashiok, Knight of the Reliquary, Phantasmal Image, Tidehollow Scholar. So this should be a really good matchup. They're going to Tidehollow Scholar. I'm going to counter this. Then we have to top deck Time Spiral. So their deck is just literally all the colors. It was close. It was close. Okay. I'll never forgive myself if I lose to this deck. Although I will also forgive myself because it was sweet. I mean, I think we're just good. Oh, Ugin. Ugin seems exceptional. I don't need Kozilek, Ulamog, whatever. I think if I resolve Ugin against the 15 color deck, I should be able to win from there. Let's do this. Going first. Vendilion Click, Consecrated Sphinx, nothing else. They have 3 Moxes though. That's one easy way I can lose. And also just drawing as many lands as I have been. I don't think I can keep a 5-lander. This hand is like better but also slower. But this deck needs to hit land drop, so I'm going to keep this. I'm gonna get rid of Time Spiral. I hate doing it, but here I am. I might just die. I might lose to this. Glen is good, but this hand's even slower than the one I mulligan. Steve, yeah, okay. Well, man, this deck needed, I don't know, to just draw better. More things like Remand and Snapcaster probably. They did not sacrifice Steve, so that suggests they don't have an insane play here. If it's just a Trigon Predator, that's cool. Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. Island. So we're getting somewhere. I can bounce Knight, but then they recast it. I don't love that. So I'm going to let them actually sacrifice with Knight if they want to. Fixes their mana, but they already basically had all the colors anyway. I'll take the 1. I could have flashed in Venser to block, but I don't think that matters too much. Alright, now we Venser the Knight. They activate Knight, probably. Yeah, so now they have Badlands. That goes to hand. I guess they're deciding... Ooh, Counterspell was a nice draw. So, we're going to pass. They are going to level up Figure. Potentially Lightning Helix my Venser. No. Kind of don't mind blocking here. If I block, then they're going to max level... No, we'll just go through. It's only 4 damage. So they're not interested in casting Knight of the Reliquary. That's what I'm gathering. think I'm gonna do this to buy myself a ton of time because I have another counterspell in hand. Return a creature. So now I can draw 3. For whatever reason I couldn't before. So weird. I'm gonna bounce that, draw 2 cards. Ancestral Vision is nice. So my slowing the game down is helping. Did they just play Dark Confidant? Oh no. Okay, did they just recast Figure? That's fine. As long as it's not Dark Confidant, I think we're okay. I draw a land. The rough part is I simultaneously want to suspend Ancestral Vision and cast Glenelendra this turn. I guess I can do that. I can't hold up Counterspell though. I think I just do that. We do that and pass. They sacrifice Steve. That makes me feel good that I kept Counterspell in hand. So this can become a 4/4. That is some mana. I respect that. That's pretty good. I need to play quickly because I do need to win 2 matches in a row, and my deck is not particularly fast. But we do have Ugin that we're drawing to this time, and that's a lot better than Kozilek, or Ulamog, whatever it is. Am I okay trading Venser for all of their mana this turn? Kind of. It becomes a 2/2. That seems like a totally fine exchange for me. Yeah, they didn't have any plays? That seems great. I draw Daze. Not the best, but we do get to play Glenn. And they do have a lot of big X spells that Daze might be good with. And I also have Frantic Search, so I could just discard it if I need. We're just trying to buy time until Ancestral Vision goes off, and then we're hoping to storm them out at that point. But I'm taking 4. I don't like that. This is a... Oh, I'm taking more than 4, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cost 6. No, I'm just taking 4. So Knight's not that big, but I think I still counter it. I just can't let them get anything in play, because if they go like land Niv Mizzet, I can daze it at least. Ooh, they played around Daze. Very smart. I think I'm going to lose to this, honestly. Well, I draw a Memory Jar. That's helpful. Play that. And then hope to not die. And that might be enough to win. We'll see. I'm in a pretty rough position, though. Night of Autumn. I can Memory Jar for more cards. That gives them more cards too. Night of Autumn. What can I hit here? High Tide? Doesn't do it because I can't High Tide into Frantic Search. Alright, sure. I think Memory Jar is going away. So now I think I pretty much just have to survive this turn. Heck with that in the Wolf. How much damage am I taking next turn? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very close to dead. I just have Daze. I guess this prevents 4 damage in total anyway. 2 now and 2 later, so I do block here. Please, deck. Palancron. That's actually decent. I'm okay with Palancron. Pass turn. No attacks. Their thing doesn't flip. It can block. I can block bounce if I need to. Omnath is cool. I never thought I would be so scared of a deck like this. So they do have Omnath fetch. They gain 4 life and then they get a bunch of mana. Yikes. If they do that into Uro, then that would be bad. I'm really trying to save Frantic Search for next turn though, because I really need it. I could die if they activate Creeping Tar Pit and play Uro. Okay, that isn't the worst because I can block that. What is that going to copy? That's going to copy Palancron or Glenn. Huh. So, what is that going to copy? If I can survive without Palancron, so I think I daze Phantasmal Image and then return Palancron to hand, and then they can only copy one of their creatures, and they have no mana. And I don't die because I'm chump blocking with Glenelendra. So they pay. Now I bounce this. And now I do get to have a turn. Attack, I block here. Alright, I get Ancestral Vision, Frantic Search, Palancron, and I have a bunch of lands. Somehow I navigated this to get to this position. I'm going to Mystical Tutor for... I guess I can draw for turn because I have Frantic Search? Yeah. I regret that. Oh boy. Alright, we're going to Mystical Tutor here. High Tide doesn't work because I need 2 things, so I guess I have to get Time Spiral and then just hope to get there. I could also get Mind's Desire, but I think I'm gonna get Time Spiral. Then I Frantic Search. Discarding Caracas land. Untapping these. Play my land. Play Palancron into any potential days they might have. Mostly because I don't want to draw Palancron off Time Spiral. And here's, God, so bad. I don't think this hand is gonna do it. I guess I can still hit High Tide, which I guess I want to Narset for first. Narset for High Tide? Mystical Tutor Ugin. So I can tutor or High Tide, and then Frantic Search, but I don't get mana off of that. So I just have to Frantic Search naturally, hope to hit High Tide, and then I can tutor for Mind's Desire. I guess we're going for Ugin then. Then we Frantic Search. If I can hit a High Tide here, I didn't. I hit Mind's Desire, but I don't think I have enough mana to cast it now. I have 4 cards. Yeah, I just die. Good games, opponent. That was rough. That was actually a really rough series of matches. I think my deck was very good, I thought. Go back to the deck. Trying to evaluate this. I don't think Ulamog was worth putting in the deck. I never cast it or anything. I never needed it. So I think I would get rid of Ulamog. Ugin felt like it would have been good there, but I just drew all my things in the wrong order. I never really saw Memory Jar, except that one time they killed it. I think the deck needed a more consistent card draw engine. Like, I think specifically Factor Fiction, I know I talked about it in the beginning, that card would have been pretty nice in this deck, just to refuel after I've like... Because my deck has 2 parts. There's the early mana counter magic part, and then the late game storm part. And by putting so many cards towards this, I have some really awkward Time Spiral hits that you were seeing in the end. So like Time Spiral is not really even close to a guaranteed win. So I think we needed like a Time Twister. Another way to fetch up High Tide would have been really clutch. And then like one more card draw engine. But I think this core of a deck is good. You just need a little bit more things to make it like fully tick. And you need luck. I think we got relatively unlucky in the games too. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon.